Hello students, welcome to this eGyan YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to discuss CET and JEE questions on this SETS topic. So students, before those questions, first we'll discuss some basic concepts and important formulas in this SETS topic. So let us start with the first, what is a sets? The definition of sets. A set is a well-defined collection of objects and it is denoted by capital letters A, B, C, etc. And next, a representation of sets. In this one, there are two methods are there. The first one is roster method and second one is set builder method. So in this sets there are two methods are there, one is roster and second one is set builder method. The next, some notations to identify the sets. The first one is n, that is the set of all natural numbers. Second one is z, the set of all integers. Next one is q, the set of all rational numbers. R, the set of all real numbers. Next, z plus, the set of all positive integers. Q plus, the set of all positive rational numbers. Next, R plus, the set of all positive real numbers. So these are the some important notations to identify the sets. So natural number, integer, rational, real numbers, positive integer, positive rational number and positive real numbers. The next concept is types of sets. The first one, finite and infinite sets. A set which is empty or consists of a definite number of elements is called finite. Otherwise, the set is called infinite. So students, suppose empty set is there, then that set also we call as a finite. Otherwise, definite number of elements in the given sets are there, means we call that is a finite set. Otherwise, the given set is we call infinite set. Second one, equal and equivalent sets. So here, when we call two sets are equal, so students, two sets A and B are said to be equal if they have exactly the same elements, and we write this term as A equal to B. Otherwise, the set are said to be unequal. So we write this term is A is not equal to B. So exactly same elements are there, means so such sets we call as a equal sets. So for example, let A equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and set B equal to here 3, 1, 4, 2 is there. So student, whenever set is there, so these numbers we can write in terms of 1, 2, 3. So if you interchange the numbers, the given sets remains the same here. So here we can interchange these elements here. So here these two sets are equal because exactly same elements are there. Here 1, here 2, next 3 and 4. So here set A equal to B. Now next one is equivalent sets. So when we call two sets are equivalent. If two sets A and B have equal number of elements. So student, difference between equal and equivalent. So equal means exactly same elements, okay, in the given two sets. But equivalent means you only have to take the number of elements are same here. So then such sets we call as then A and B are called equivalent sets. Means only you have to check the number of elements here. So when if you want to compare those two sets in the given two sets, if two elements in the first set, two elements in the second set, then we call those two sets are equivalent. So this is the difference between equal and equivalent. Equal means exactly same elements. Equivalent means only number of elements are same. Okay, those elements should be maybe different, but total number of elements are same. So such sets we call as a equivalent sets. Next one is null set or empty set or void set. So the definition is a set having no elements in it is called a null set. So in the given set there is no element means such sets we call as a null set or empty set or void set, and it is denoted by this pi. So this denotes null set or empty set or void set. Next, some special types of sets here. The first one is subset. A set A is said to be a subset of a set B if every element of A is also an element of B. So that is A is subset of B. If A belongs to A, this implies this A should be belongs to B. Then here we call A is a subset of B. For example, let A equal to 1, 2 and set B equal to 1, 2, 3 and set C equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Then here A is subset of B because this 1 and 2 belongs to A means the same element is belongs to B. Then A is a subset of B. Similarly, A is subset of C. Here 1, 2 is there. So when we call A is a subset of C, so whatever the elements in set A is there, those elements should be belongs to C. Here 1, 2 is there, here also 1, 2 means here A is subset of C. But students, C is not a subset of A because these all elements are not belongs to A. So A is subset of C here. Next, B is subset of C. So set B is subset of set C because all these three elements are belongs to the set C. So B is subset of C, but C is not a subset of B because these all elements are not belongs to set B. The next important note here, empty set is a subset of every set. Okay, so this is an important note. Empty set is a subset of every set. You can take any set. For that one we can write empty set is a subset of that given set. The next one is every set is a subset of itself. Okay, for example, here set A equal to 1, 2 is there. So subset of this A is we can write 1, 2. Okay, so same set also we call as a subset here. Next, third important point is total number of subsets of a set having n elements is 2 raised to n. So this is a formula, okay, to calculate total number of subset of the given set. For example, set A equal to 1, 2 is there. So for this set, so if you want to write the total number of subset, then you can directly apply this formula, that is 2 raised to n. So this n is the total number of elements in the given set. If you consider this is an example, then the total number of subset of A is 2 raised to 2, that is 4. So total 4 subsets we can write for this set A. So this is an important formula you have to remember. Number of subsets we can calculate by using formula, by using this formula, that is 2 raised to n. So here n is the total number of elements in the given set. The next concept is superset. If A is subset or equal to B, then B is called superset of A. Then B is called superset of A, and we write this term as B or here A is subset of B. So when we call as here B is called a superset of A, when we call this B is superset of A when this A is subset of B, then we call B is called a superset of this set A. Third one, proper subset. So when we call as a proper subset, so only subset, and see here the difference students, subset, superset, and this third one is a proper subset. So here if A is subset of B and A is not equal to B, A is subset of B and A is not equal to B, then A is called proper subset of B, and we write this term as A is subset of B. So student, already we know that if A is a subset of B means, so we can write this all the elements here. Okay, this elements belongs to A should be belongs to set B. Now here one more possibility is there. Sometimes we may get these two terms are equal. So if it is equal, if A is equal to B also, we can write A is subset of B. But when we call is a proper subset, when A is not equal to B and A is a subset of B, then A is a proper subset of B. Means students, you can easily we can remember, except same set, other subsets are there, those we call as a proper subsets. Okay, except this same set, the remaining terms we can call as a proper subset. For example, in the given set A equal to 1 to 4 numbers are there, then except 1 to 4 number, other subsets we call as a proper subsets. Next, number 4, power set. Set of all the subsets of set is called power set of a set, which is denoted by P of A. Okay, power set of A means all possible subsets of the given set. All possible subset of this given set. Those terms you can write down in terms of set. Then we call that set is a power set. All possible subset of given set. The next, inversal set. If all sets under consideration are subsets of a large set, then this large set is called inversal set and it is denoted by U. So students, here inversal set is not a fixed set. Okay. So student, if you consider here for natural numbers, okay, if you consider natural numbers is a universal set, then we can write their subsets here. Okay, their subsets we can write the prime numbers. Okay, next positive integers we can consider positive even numbers. Okay, positive odd numbers. These all are the subset of this inversal set, or for all those sets natural number is a universal set. So larger set we call as a universal set. It is depend on the given term here. So universal sets are not fixed. Next, examples. The first example, the set of all natural numbers x such that 4x plus 9 is less than 30 is equal to option A 2, 3, 4, 5, option B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, option C 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and option D none of these. So student, in this example, set of all natural numbers. So once if the natural number is there means numbers start with 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. These are the natural numbers. Okay, and your given term is 4x plus 9 is less than 30. Now you have to find out what are the values of x here. So student, first you can write down this given term 4x plus 9 is less than 30. Then you find out the value of x here. Now just simplify this term. You take this 9 on the right hand side, 30 minus 9 will get 21. Then x is less than 21 divided by 4. So already here x is a natural number. Here x is less than 21 by 4 and this x should be belongs to natural number. Then here x equal to, we can write the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, because here 21 by 4 means we get 5.2, means 5.2 something will get here, means 5 point some fractional term will get. Now here x is, this x is less than that 5.2, means the natural numbers are 1 to 5 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the values of x. So this is the option option B is the correct answer. The x values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So student, the two important things here, x is a natural number and this is a given term here. Just to simplify, and you have to take the x values, those are the natural numbers. So option B is the correct answer. Next example number 2, the set of all integers x such that mod of x minus 3 is less than 2 is equal to. So student, first thing is x is an integer. So first we know that what are the integers. Okay, so integers are 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3 and so on. These are the integers. Okay, x is an integer and the given term is mod x minus 3 is less than 2. Then what are the values of x which satisfy this condition? So here there are 4 options are given. Option A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Option B 1, 2, 3, 4. Option C 2, 3, 4. Option D minus 4, minus 3, minus 2. Now first we start with this given term. So given term is mod x minus 3 is less than 2. So students, first you can start with this. You can substitute here 1 first here. Okay, if we substitute x equal to 1 here, 1 minus 3 will get minus 2, mod of minus 2 is will get plus 2. So here plus 2 will get, but here the condition is that number should be less than 2. We get, if we substitute x equal to 1, we will get 1 is the, if we substitute x equal to 1, we will get 2 is the answer, but this 2 is not less than 2. So we can't substitute 1 here. Next you take number is 2. If we substitute x equal to 2, 2 minus 3, 2 minus 3 minus 1, mod of minus 1 is plus 1. So 1 is less than 2. So here the first value which satisfies that condition is x equal to 2. The next number you can substitute x equal to 2. If we substitute, x equal to 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 also less than 2. So that is also satisfy this given condition. So we can take x equal to 2. 2 and 3. Next number is 4. 4 minus 3. 4 minus 3 will get 1. So 1 is less than 2. So 4 also we can take here. Next if we substitute 5, 5 minus 3, 2 is less than 2, that one is not satisfied. So what are the numbers which satisfy this condition? 2, 3, 4. Means what is the correct option here? So only these numbers satisfy this given condition. X equal to 2, 3, 4. So therefore 2, 3, 4 is the value of x. Therefore option C is the correct answer. So students, if you want to verify, you can start with the first term, first option. You can start with here 1 here. If you substitute 1, okay, if you substitute 1, 1 minus 3 is minus 2, mod of minus 2 is plus 2. The important thing is mod is there. So you will get plus 2 is less than 2, which is not satisfied, means option 1 is not correct. So similarly here 1 is there, B also not correct. Next you can go for the option C. You can check this all the elements. You substitute here and check this condition. Okay, if it is satisfies, then that is the correct option. Otherwise you can move for the next option. Okay, so option C is the correct answer. Next example number 3. Which of the following sets is an empty set? Option A, A equal to x such that x belongs to n, and here 2x plus 5 equal to 6. Option B, x such that x belongs to n and x is greater than 1 and less than or equal to 2. Option C, x is an even prime. Option D, x belongs to q, that is q means set of rational numbers, and here x is greater than 1 and less than 2. Now there are 4 options given in set builder form. Now we have to find out so which set is a empty set. So student, so first start with the first set. Here A equal to will get null set because the first set is an empty set because Now you can simplify this term here. 2x plus 5 equal to 6 is a given term. Next, 2x equal to, you take this 5 on the right hand side, 6 minus 5 is 1. Then x equal to 1 by 2. So already your condition is x belongs to n means natural number. But here answer we got x equal to 1 by 2. So x equal to 1 by 2. This number is not belongs to set of natural numbers. Means the given set A is a empty set. So set A is a empty set. So therefore option A is the correct one. So students, so one by one you have to simplify. Suppose if you get the correct option is the first one, then no need to check this second, third and fourth one. So option A is the correct one, that is a empty set. Next example number 4. Which of the following sets is a finite set? First one, set A, x says that x belongs to z, that is set of integers, and the given quadratic equation is x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. Option B, set B equal to x says that x belongs to z and x square is even. Option C, x says that x belongs to z and x is greater than minus 10. Option D, all of these. So student, you have to find out which of the following sets is a finite set. The first condition for finite set is when we call the given set is a finite set, either it is empty set or finite number of elements or the definite number of elements in the given set is there, means we call such set is a finite set. So student, the given these options they given in terms of set builder form. So better we'll convert first in set roster form, then easily we can identify the finite set. So given set in roster form is, first set is 2, 3. So student, you just simplify this quadratic equation. So find out the solution of this equation. So multiply first and last term, we get 6x square. Then you find out the roots for 6x minus 3x and minus 2x is a root values, and then your root values are x equal to 2 and x equal to 3. This is the first set. Next, set B. Set B is x says that x belongs to z and x square is even number. So student, here already we got the first set is a finite set. A is equal to 2, 3 means it is a finite set. So directly we can write option A is the correct answer. But if you want to verify all these options, we can write this set B equal to x says that x belongs to z means set of integers, and here x square should be even number. So write down the values of x, okay, those values should be integers and their square. If you take square of that number, those numbers should be even number. Then the numbers are, you will get 0, plus 2, plus 4 as well as minus 2, minus 4, okay, minus 6 and so on. So these are the numbers, okay, integers, which gives their square is even number. Next, set C equal to, in set C the condition is x says that x is an integer and that integer is greater than minus 10. So greater than minus 10 means numbers start with minus 9, minus 8, minus 7 and so on. So this set B and set C, in these two sets the total number of elements are infinite. So these two sets are infinite sets. So here the finite set is set A. So option A is the correct answer. Next example number 5. Two finite sets have m and n elements. Two finite sets have m and n elements. It means in the first set total number of elements are m. In the second set total number of elements is n. The number of subsets of the first set, the number of subsets of the first set is 112 more than that of the second set. So student, here the number of subsets of the first set, okay, is 112 more than the subset of second set. Then by using this one, you have to find out the values of m and n respectively. So what is the given term? Two finite set, first set having m elements, second set having n elements. So here number of subset means we can apply the formula. How to calculate number of subset? By using the formula 2 raised to n, where n denotes number of elements in the given set. Means here the first set having 2 raised to m subset and the second one is 2 raised to n subsets. So by using this given condition, okay, so easily we can find out the values of m and n. So student, here 4 options are given. The first option is 4,7 means m equal to 4 and n equal to 7. Option B 7 and 4. Option C 4 and 4. And option D 7 and 7. So in this example, by using this given condition, so we can write the first number of subset of the first set. Number of the subset of first set means 2 raised to m. Okay, these are the total number of subset of the first set is means equal to 112 more than the subset of the second set. Means the subset of second set is 2 raised to n. But in this one, 212 if you add, then this total term is nothing but total number of subset of first set. This first set is 112 more than the subset of second set. So write down this given condition in this form. 2 raised to m equal to 112 plus 2 raised to n. Now by using this condition, now we can find out what is the value of m and n. So first we can simplify this one. Take this 2 raised to n on the left hand side. We will get 2 raised to m minus 2 raised to n equal to 112. Then so this right hand side term is 112 is there. So this term you convert in this form. So convert in this form is here 2 raised to m minus 2 raised to n is there. So first you write down this base term. Same base you write down 2 and this is 2. Now you have to take this powers here. So this powers is depend on this given value here. So first 2 raised to 7 means 128. 2 raised to 7 is 128. Minus 2 raised to 4 is 16. 128 minus 16, that is 12. Means 112, so you write down in this form. So student, so better you first you write down the same base and then we can check one by one options here. So first you check 4 and 7. If you substitute here 4 and 7, you will get 16 minus 128. Means answer will get negative. But here positive is there. So next you go for the second option. You can take m equal to 7, n equal to 4 and you check the value here. So this one is 128 minus 16 will get 112. So option B is the correct one. If it is not correct means you can go for option C. Similarly option D. So we can check all these 4 options by substituting m equal to that first value and n equal to second value. Now here 2 raised to m minus 2 raised to n equal to 2 raised to 7 minus 2 raised to 4. Now just to compare this LHS and RHS, on comparing both sides we get m equal to 7 and n equal to 4. If you compare these two terms, you get 2 raised to m equal to 2 raised to 7 and 2 raised to n equal to 2 raised to 4. That is m equal to 7 and n equal to 4. So option B is the correct answer. So student, by using these methods, next example number 6. Example number 6. Let A equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and set B equal to 2, 4, 6. Then the number of sets C such that A intersection B is subset or equal to C and that is subset or equal to A union B is. So there are four options given. Option A 6, option B 9, option C 8, option D 10. So in this example, first what is the given term? Set A is given and set B is given. By using this given term, then the number of sets. So how many sets we can write which satisfies this condition? What is the condition? A intersection B is subset or equal to this set, and which is subset or equal to A union B. So student first will write this given term. A intersection B is subset or equal to C, which is subset or equal to A union B. Means here we will get A intersection B, A intersection B. Intersection means what are the common elements in these two sets. So here 2 and 4. These are the two elements. So here A intersection B is 2, 4. Next, A union B you write down. What is A union B? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Just combining these two sets. Okay, and write down non-repeated elements. So this is A union B and this is A intersection B. Now student, you have to find out what are the sets we can write or how many sets we can write. The total number of sets C such that which satisfies this condition. So student, the important thing is this set should be subset or equal to this one, and 2, 4 is subset or equal to C. Means student, we can start with first. We can write the set C here. So here required number of sets is will get 8. Now we'll ask sir how will get this 8. So for that one, so direct formula is there. That is here 2 and 4 is there. Except this 2 and 4, how many elements will get? 1, 2 and 3. So total 3 elements will get. So 2 raised to 3 is 8 is the answer. But that one it is difficult to remember. So better we'll write what are the sets we'll get in this place. So first one is, the first set is, can we take 2, 4? Because this set is subset or equal to C. Okay, means the smallest set we get 2, 4. Okay, 2, 4. If you take 2, 4 which satisfies both the term, that is equal to, and that term is subset of this set because 2, 4 already is there. Next we can start with this 2, 4 as it is, 2, 4 as it is. Then now you can take this next elements here along with the 2, 4, next number you take here 1. If you take 2, 4, 1, then this set is subset of this one and this one is subset of this second one. Next, along with 2, 4, what is the next element? 2, 4 is a fixed term. Along with this one you take 1. Then along with 2, 4 you take 3. Along with 2, 4 you can take 6. These all the 3 terms satisfies both the condition. This term is subset of 3 term and this same set is a subset of this set. This one is the set having 3 elements. Next, the sets having 4 elements. So in these 4 elements, these numbers should be fixed here. 2, 4 is there. 2, 4 is a fixed term. Along with this one, we can take 1, 3, and 1, 6. These two are fixed. 1, 3, 1, 6. Next, what is the next term? 3, 6. 2, 4 is a fix. 1, 3, 1, 6, 3, 6. Next one is the set having 5 elements. Set having 5 elements. Means we can write the same set here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. Before that we can take this fixed term. 2, 4 is a fixed term. Okay, along with this one we can take 1, 3, 6. So how many set we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these sets we can take in the place of C. So these are the total number of sets here which satisfy this condition. So if you want to remember without this writing the sets. So here the easy formula is you can take this 2 and 4, here 2 and 4 is there. So except these terms, what are the remaining terms we'll get here? Remaining elements 1, 2 and 3. So C is subset of this one. Okay, C is subset of this set. So we can't write directly 2 raised to 5 because that set satisfies this condition also. Means 2 and 4 is a fixed term. What are the remaining elements? 1, 2 and 3. So 2 raised to 3 means those many sets we can write in this place of C. So that is total number of sets are 8. Okay. So just we verify these all the sets by using this given condition. So by using these methods, so student, next try this example. If A equal to x such that x equal to 4n plus 1, n is greater than or equal to 2 and less than or equal to 5, the number of subset of A is. The number of subset of A. Option A 8, option B 15, option C 4, option D 16. So in this example, student, first you find out set A in set Rosser form, and then you have to find out the number of subsets. No need to find out the subsets here, just you find out how many subset will get. Number already given, you have to find out the correct option. Okay, so with this one, so we'll conclude this session. So I hope you enjoyed this session. So thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you, students.